This COVID-19 is very interesting. And how the powers that be will go to great lengths to try to convince us to not use the God-given common sense we have and to just accept their word for it to take this vaccine. Let's get into it. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, boy.
A nurse is vaccinated, but just minutes later, this happens.
I'm sorry.
Tiffany Dover fainted as she spoke to reporters at a hospital in Chattanooga, Tennessee. But it turns out it wasn't a reaction to the vaccine. Tiffany has a medical condition and faints often. She quickly recovered and spoke to reporters.
I have passed out probably 6 times in the past 6 weeks. It's common for me.
It's very common. People should not use that as a barometer for not taking the COVID-19 vaccine or other vaccines.
How much they paid them, I wonder.
Vice President Mike Pence was vaccinated, but watch as the hand of medical technician Sean Wadeen shakes nervously as he puts the needle into his arm.
I, by the way, as a surgeon, am also a little bit afraid of needles.
Neurosurgeon Dr.
Why can't we see the needle going into Dr. Gupta's arm? Just want to know.
Anyway, live on CNN.
Is it in? Oh, it's done.
But even as thousands get vaccinated, the pandemic rages on, worse than ever. 100,000 new cases were reported in 48 hours in California. Among them, a 9-year-old daughter of LA's mayor. Also revealing her COVID diagnosis, 47-year-old supermodel Eva Herzegova. And the condition of the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, is said to be worsening. He contracted COVID after a meeting with other European leaders. There are no ICU beds available anywhere in Southern California. Hospitals are no longer allowed to turn away ambulances and must accept patients regardless of their capacity. As a result, there are often ambulances lined up outside with patients waiting to get in. The lack of bed space also impacts patients who don't have COVID. Connie Rim's back surgery has been postponed indefinitely.
I'm in pain 24/7. Some days are more severe than others. But the fact of the matter is, I can't get up. I can't sit up to watch TV. I can't eat at the dinner table.
In New York City, all elective surgery has been suspended. Among the latest COVID-19 fatalities, 8 elderly nuns who lived in a retirement home in Milwaukee. They all died of COVID in 1 week. It's feared that Christmas could bring yet another surge, just like Thanksgiving. An estimated 85 million people say they plan to travel over the holiday, despite pleas by authorities not to. But amid the grief, hope and joy, just look at the reactions of frontline workers getting the vaccination that will save so many lives.
Okay. Save so many lives, huh? Save so many lives. Let's check into this, shall we? Oh, just to let you know, there was a Catholic priest, you can look it up, who took the Moderna vaccine and he died of a heart attack shortly after. Okay. You could also look up, the people who have died in the clinical trials for this vaccine. You can look that up for yourself. Okay. But I got some stuff to show you. First, I'll read off what was said about the nurse. Okay. Nurse who fainted after vaccine has a condition that causes her to pass out. Wouldn't be surprised if they made that up. Our nurse, who was one of the first healthcare workers to be vaccinated for COVID-19 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, on Thursday, passed out on live TV after getting the vaccine and answering the questions about how safe it is. AP's assessment missing context. Nurse manager Tiffany Dover did pass out after receiving her vaccine, but she explained to reporters afterward that she has a condition that sometimes causes her to faint when she feels pain. The United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention says it's received reports of people fainting after nearly all vaccines, and scientists believe it is due to the anxiety associated with the vaccination process. The facts. Dover was one of the first 5 people to receive the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine at Chi Memorial Hospital in Chattanooga on Thursday. Oh, just to let you know, if you have side effects or anything like that, the people at Biotech, Pfizer, Moderna have lobbied that they get immunity and you can't sue them. Just to let you know. Several minutes later, reporters were filming Dover for an interview when she lifted her hand to her head, apologized, and said she was feeling dizzy. In the video, she can be seen fainting as doctors catch her and lower her to the ground. The video was circling widely without context on Twitter and Facebook on Friday, with some social media users commenting that they would not get the vaccine or claiming it was dangerous. Nurses passed out after receiving COVID-19 vaccine, read one Facebook post shared more than 5,000 times. Oh my, a nurse has passed out after taking the vaccine. Live on air in the USA, read a tweet. This is becoming a complete farce. When will this nonsense end? These posts didn't include the fact that Dover was back on her feet shortly after passing out. She told reporters with the local news station WTVC that she had a medical condition that can sometimes cause her to faint. It's common for me, she told reporters. I feel fine now. Dr. Jesse Tucker, medical director of critical care medicine at the hospital, told WTVC reporters the vaccine can cause the reaction in some people. It's a reaction that can happen very frequently with any vaccine or shot, he said. No reason to suspect that it's due to the vaccine whatsoever. CDC offers guidance on fainting after vaccination, which can be common. It says that although fainting has a variety of possible causes, it is usually triggered by pain or anxiety. Fainting after vaccine is most frequently reported after the HPV, MCV4, and Tdap vaccines, which are administered to adolescents, the CDC says. Because the ingredients of these 3 vaccines are different, yet fainting is seen with all of them, scientists think that fainting is due to the vaccination process and not to the vaccine themselves, HC website says. As COVID vaccinations roll out to more people nationwide, health officials are tracking their safety and watching for any unexpected side effects. The sore arm or redness at the injection site are common side effects of many vaccines, including the Pfizer BioNTech shot and the COVID-19 vaccine made by Moderna Incorporated. Once again, Moderna has only been around for 10 years, and this is the first time making a vaccine. A fever and some flu-like symptoms, which are also common, indicate the immune system is revving up. The FDA found no serious side effects in the tens of thousands of enrolled in studies of the 2 vaccines. This is part of the Associated Press' ongoing effort to fact-check misinformation that is shared widely online, including work with Facebook to identify reduced circulation of false stories, blah, 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 blah. Basically, government, United Nations government is also working hard to, crack down on any alternative, media talking about the Moderna vaccine or the Pfizer vaccine, which will get you locked out of Facebook for a period of time or flagged on your YouTube channel. If it's nothing wrong with the vaccine, why are you just censoring free speech? All right, now to get even more deep into this truth about this vaccine. The same AP that inaccurately called the election AP equals fake news. Well, their overlords are just doing their overlords' bidding, man. They don't do it. Well, you know what's going to happen to them. They turn up missing. It's just how it is. All right. Here's the next one. Okay. Here we are. Thousands negatively affected after getting COVID-19 vaccine. Saved so many lives, huh? Let's get into it. And there's more. Oh, there is more like this. Thousands of people have been unable to work, to perform daily activities, or require care from a healthcare professional after getting the new COVID-19 vaccine, according to new data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. As of December 18th, 3,150 people reported what the agency terms health impact events after getting vaccinated. Those who are experiencing these events are unable to perform normal daily activities, unable to work, or required care from doctor or healthcare professional. The incidents were reported through vSafe, a smart phone application. The tool uses text messages and web surveys to provide personalized healthcare check-ins and allows users to quickly tell the CDC if they're experiencing side effects. The CDC and Pfizer, which produces the vaccine with BioNTech, didn't immediately respond to comments. The information was presented on December 19th by Dr. Thomas Clark, a CDC epidemiologist, to the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, an independent panel that provides recommendations to the agency. The CDC said that 272,001 doses of the vaccine were administered as of December 19th. That means most people who were vaccinated didn't experience negative side effects. CDC has identified 6 case reports of anaphylaxis or a severe allergic reaction that occurred following vaccination with the new vaccine. Clark reported other cases reports were reviewed and determined not to be anaphylaxis. In an update on December 18th, the agency stressed that anyone who has ever had a severe allergic reaction to any ingredient in the COVID-19 vaccine should not get that vaccine. People with severe allergic reactions to other vaccines should consult their doctor about getting the new vaccine, while those with a history of anaphylaxis not related to the vaccines may still get vaccinated. Anyone who experiences anaphylaxis or getting the first vaccine should not get the second shot, the CDC said. COVID-19 vaccines are meant to be given across 2 doses, spaced out 3 weeks apart. At least 5 healthcare workers in Alaska experienced adverse reactions after getting the Pfizer vaccine, the Anchorage Daily News reported. One worker at the Bartlett Regional Hospital required treatment at the hospital for at least 2 nights. An Illinois hospital halted vaccinations after 4 workers suffered adverse reactions. Dr. Peter Marks, director of the Food and Drug Administration Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research, told reporters in a call on December 17th that the agency is working with the CDC and colleagues in the UK on probing the allergic reactions. We'll be looking at all the data we can from each of these reactions to sort out exactly what happened. And we'll be looking to try to understand which components of the vaccine might be helping to produce them, he said. Noting that he was speculating, Marks said it's known that the polyethylene glycol, a component present in both the Pfizer vaccine and one from the Moderna that regulators approved earlier in the day, can be associated uncommonly with allergic reactions. So that could be the culprit here, and that's why we'll be watching very closely, he said, but we just don't know at this point. Both vaccines have systematic side effects, which are generally mild. Mark said they go away after a day, according to the FDA website. The most commonly reported side effects include tiredness, headache, muscle pain, and chills. The agency said they go away after several days. One volunteer in Pfizer's late-stage clinical trial experienced an allergic reaction. 2 people in Moderna's phase 3 clinical trial experienced an anaphylactic reactions, the company said during a meeting on December 17th. And the data showed the benefits outweigh the risks. The FDA officials said they granted emergency use authorization to the vaccines about 7 days apart. People who get COVID-19 vaccine should be monitored for at least 15 minutes after getting vaccinated, according to the CDC. If someone experiences a severe allergic reaction to getting COVID-19 vaccine, vaccination providers are supposed to provide rapid care and call for emergency medical services. The person should continue to be monitored in a medical facility for at least several hours. This right here is showing that this vaccine is not safe. They're trying to pass it as safe, but it's not going to work. People are too smart. People are not stupid. And, this is going to blow up in their face. You have to force this vaccine down people's throats. I'm just speaking of the fact of, if I was in their minds and want to plan a pandemic, and it's not a pandemic, it's a plandemic, And if I wanted to have depopulation, I'm going to have to force people to take this vaccine, which is, basically taking away their freedoms if they don't get vaccinated. That's the only way you're going to get away with this. I can imagine how bad it is in Chicago. All right. As I said before, Lori Lightfoot is already ready on board. The Department of Health down there, the person in charge of that, I forgot the woman's name, but they're ready to go. They already have the syringes, and that was months ago. They have the syringes, and they're already prepared to say, if you don't take that vaccine, you will not be able to work. Yeah, the risk is too high. People catching Bell palsy, getting partial face paralysis. Yeah, I'd say that'd be too high. And the fact that they can't sue either. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of uproar. A lot of people are gonna be acting, in hospitals. Clients are already irate, and to find out that they can't sue if they get disfigured or crippled by this vaccine, it will only get worse. I'm gonna show you something else. Do you believe that a person who creates a product should stand by their product? Do you believe that? I do. But guess what Pfizer's CEO has done? Guess what he has done? Show you in a minute. Good, it's there. This is what he does. Pfizer CEO sold millions in stock after coronavirus vaccine news, raising questions. Why would you sell your stock? Why would you do that? You should stand by your product, right? You should. We all agree to that. The chairman, let me just read his name. His name is Albert Bourla. Okay, chairman and CEO of Pfizer sold millions of dollars worth of company stock on Monday as part of a preset plan, but NPR found irregularities about when the CEO entered into that plan. This is the CEO of Pfizer. Remember his name, Albert Bourla. The chairman and CEO of Pfizer, Albert Bourla, sold $5.6 billion worth of stock in the pharmaceutical company on Monday. The sale took place on the same day Pfizer announced that its experimental coronavirus vaccine candidate was found to be more than 90% effective. The company's stock soared on the news. Bourla sold the stock as part of a stock trading plan that aims to shield corporate executives from allegations of illegal insider trading. But these plans have become increasingly controversial, and the issue is taken on added urgency given billions of dollars the government has promised Pfizer if its vaccine meets approval of federal regulators. Bourla's sale of the Pfizer stock was part of a trading plan set months in advance known as the 10b5-1 plan. They essentially put stock trades on autopilot. Executives are supposed to adopt these plans only when they are not in possession of inside information that can affect the company's stock price, what's known as material non-public information. The timing of the implementation of Bourla's plan, however, has raised questions about what the Pfizer CEO knew and when and whether they may initiate further scrutiny from federal regulators. On August 19th, Bourla implemented his stock trading plan according to his disclosure to Securities and Exchange Commission. The next day, August 20th, Pfizer issued a press release featuring additional phase 1 safety and immunogenicity data and confirming that Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech were on track to seek regulatory review for its vaccine candidate by October. The financial news channels Fox Business, CNBC, and Bloomberg all covered the August news, with CNBC noting that the stock appeared to be moving sharply higher today on an optimistic vaccine timeline. Daniel Taylor, an expert in the insider trading and an associate professor of accounting at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, has closely monitored stock trades by executives at companies developing coronavirus vaccines. He told NPR that the close timing between the adoption of Bourla's stock plan and the press release looked very suspicious. It's wholly inappropriate for executives at pharmaceutical companies to be implementing or modifying a 10b5-1 plan, the business today before they announce data or results from drug trials, Taylor said. Spokesperson for Pfizer told NPR that the company did not believe the company's August 20 press release contained material non-public information, and that a stock plan administrator had previously vetted the implementation of the CEO's 10B5-1 plan. The spokesman noted that the company had previously announced its expected to seek regulatory approval for its coronavirus vaccine candidate by October, and that the August press release merely confirmed that timeline. In addition, the press release conditioned information from an academic study of Pfizer's vaccine. The spokesperson said, and the company did not control the timing of or the content of that study. The sale of these shares is part of Dr. Bourla's personal financial planning and a pre-established 10B5-1 plan, Pfizer said in a statement. Through our stock plan administrator, Dr. Bourla authorized the sale of these shares in February and renewed that authorization in August with the same price and following terms. The company spokesperson in Bourla's plan authorized stock sales when the share price hit a certain target. Though Bourla's stock sale on Monday was significant, the company stated that he still held approximately 9 times his salary in Pfizer stock. Taylor of the Wharton Business School said stock sales by Pfizer CEO brought to mind similar concerns with another coronavirus vaccine maker, Moderna. As NPR reported in September, multiple executives at Moderna adopted or modified their stock trading plans just before key announcements about the company's vaccine. Those executives have sold tens of millions of dollars in Moderna stock, even though the company has not completed its vaccine trials. It's troubling to me that general counsel or internal controls of these companies will consider it legitimate to adopt 10B5-1 plan one day before a major vaccine announcement, said Taylor. If this isn't a wake-up call for the SEC and a wake-up call that we need to reform the 10B5-1 plans, I don't know what is. Billions of dollars in taxpayer funding are at stake in the race for a safe, effective, and widely available coronavirus vaccine. The U.S. government has guaranteed roughly $2.5 billion to the development and manufacture of Moderna's vaccine, for example, and has promised to buy nearly $2 billion worth of Pfizer's vaccines if it receives regulatory approval. My thing is, he resold them to get a profit. And since the fact that these companies, Pfizer, Biotech, and Moderna, they lobbied for immunity. And of course, that was a smart move because the vaccine only took 6 to 10 months to make, which regularly is supposed to take years after testing and trials and to make sure it's appropriate for humans to take. Okay? And this is something they're soon going to be forced down our throats. Germans again, didn't they have something to do with the vote? What about Soros? Well, I don't know about Soros controlling the vaccine. I don't know about that. I know he's the puppet master of Black Lives Matter. That's what I know. I don't know much about Soros being involved in this. Wouldn't be surprised. The elites, I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's the truth. The elites want order out of chaos. They want us to the brink where, we're going to have to take this vaccine. That's why there's so much, police departments that are losing manpower. People are quitting the force. I'll be doing a story on that soon. Okay. It's basically order out of chaos. They're going to let things fall apart to the point where we're going to have to beg to have law and order again from them. And they said, okay, you want law and order again? Take this vaccine. That's how it's going to be. And they're going to have to shut up a lot of people who, like me, and like other people that are online talking about this, who actually care about people. They're going to have to shut us up. Just like they're trying to shut up this guy right here. All right, having a problem here. Hold on a minute. I'm having a problem here trying to load up a story. Here we go. Yep, here we are. So, like I said, they're trying to shut up this guy right here. Whistleblower who exposed COVID-19 vaccine side effects slapped with lawsuit. 40-year-old Indian man is being sued by the Serum Institute of India for going public with gory details about the horrific side effects he experienced following the vaccination for the Wuhan COVID-19 virus. The man had been participating in a clinical trial for an experimental COVID-19 vaccine when he suffered neurological and psychological breakdown. The series of jabs left him in the hospital for 15 days. Reports indicate 8 of which were spent in an intensive care unit, ICU. It was determined that the man had suffered from acute neuroencephalopathy, a condition marked by an altered mental state. This left him totally disoriented to the point where he was no longer able to recognize his close family and relatives, according to Science magazine. Once he gained back some of his senses, the man filed a lawsuit against S2 for $676,000 in damages. He also demanded S2 immediately shut down its clinical trial for the protection of other participants. Rather than show compassion towards the man and take his concerns seriously, S2 responded with a countersuit claiming malicious defamation against the corporation. S2 further claims that the man it injured was specifically informed by the medical team that the complications he suffered were independent of the vaccine trial he underwent. Unbelievably, S2 is seeking a whopping $13.5 million in damages from this man. The Covishield vaccine is safe and immunogenic, S2 insists. The incident with the Chattanooga volunteer, though highly unfortunate, was in no way induced by the vaccine, and Serum Institute of India is sympathetic with the volunteer's medical condition. To learn more about how experimental Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19 vaccines are highly dangerous and medically useless, be sure to check out pandemic.news. Big Pharma's relentless greed knows no limits. Every other big pharma corporation hawking COVID-19 vaccines has offered up a similar line, claiming that injuries and deaths following the vaccination are just coincidence and have nothing to do with jabs. The mainstream media agrees and is even going so far as to claim that injuries and deaths following COVID-19 vaccinations are proof that the jabs work. The Indian man being sued by S2 is still injured. It is important to note his wife says her husband is having a difficult time remembering things as well as remembering how to do things. Even after 2 weeks, simple things like online payments he has to ask me to do. She is quoted as saying, "He never does that. He got a good project during the pandemic. It was an American project that started on October 1st. Apparently, he lost that. Because of his condition, the clients have moved back. They wanted their work to be done quickly. It is becoming so obvious that COVID-19 vaccines are dangerous and ineffective that even many doctors and medical professionals who otherwise support the vaccination are now warning people not to get jabbed. Others are worried that if Big Pharma does not fess up about getting people injured and killing by the jabs, then the rest of the herd will decide to forego vaccination entirely. If the vaccinations are so safe, the first group to receive them should be all the management and their employees of the manufacturing companies, wrote one big league politics commentator. Second, every person in Congress, every politician, and then every government employee. Third, all those who wish to volunteer. After that, the rest of us can make a very informed decision. Just my opinion. Another urge of all humanity to reject not only COVID-19 vaccines, but all pharmaceutical poisons. The new mRNA technology being used in COVID-19 vaccines specifically. You can learn more about the mRNA at this link. Should be absolutely avoided because nobody knows what it actually does in the long term. Let's check this out right here. Oh, the link's not available. That's the thing, man. They're really like clamping down. I mean, there was Twitter links, and then when you try to check the link, the Twitter account is suspended. That's what I'm telling you, man. This conspiracy theory is not a conspiracy theory. This is facts. This is straight, cold, hard facts. These people want us to take this vaccine. Don't matter if it kills you. Okay? They don't care. Okay? People on this, lot on these social media sites warning you. They're not doing this for likes or clicks. They're doing this because they care. Okay. This is okay. This is a brave new world, man. This is what we're dealing with. We will soon meet that brave new world. Okay. Well, if we survive this, not getting jabbed, then this economic collapse coming is going to get worse. Okay. Those FEMA camps are real. They have one in New York. They got those FEMA coffins. They got those FEMA trains. I don't know if it's still on Facebook. They got this truck with all these plastic coffins going to a certain direction. A person recorded it. This is not a joke, man. This is not a joke. People got to start prepping. All right, you got to start prepping. Knock off the crap about going on, having parties and clubs and stuff. Now is the time. People got to start prepping. Finding ways to survive, have online businesses, look into prepping, look what has to be done, okay? Because life is going to get real. That right? It's not for likes if you're getting strikes. And all they're trying to do is silence us. Yes, they are. This is not a game. All right. I looked on some channels. They're saying to invest in gold, stock up on water, canned food. Just look up this stuff online. It's there. Okay. And protect yourself, man. Protect yourself. Plus, we got this new strain of coronavirus. And I think that's possibly what Joe Biden meant, but we're going to have a dark winter. And also the fact that, Bill Gates was saying like, well, this first wave wasn't working, but the next thing will be something else. And he actually said that on television. Okay? We're just cattle to these people. Useless eaters. If you like the content, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.